talk about a growth story. Since their presence last year here at Web Summit, Gremlin has raised both its Series A and Series B rounds. So please welcome back to Web Summit CEO and co-founder Colton Andrus from Gremlin.
Thank you very much. What a great opportunity to be here. What happens when the internet breaks? What do your customers experience when your service or product isn't available? We felt this pain growing up at companies like Amazon and Netflix, and we found the solution. It's this new idea, this new engineering discipline of chaos engineering. Chaos engineering is this opportunity for us to thoughtfully plan experiments, to inject and break our own systems, to be able to understand the weaknesses, to find them, and to fix them before they result in customer-facing outages. This may sound like a counterintuitive idea, but with that, I'll refer to the vaccine, an analogy I often use to explain this concept. We could go back 200 years and we might ask people, hey, we want to inject you with this disease. Is that a good idea? Are you okay with it? You might have got some pushback. But we know now that there's a lot of evidence that supports this process, the scientific process of hormesis. The same process applies in our technical systems and in our social systems. We want to inject a small amount of harm in order to uncover weaknesses and to build an immunity. I picked a few examples of recent outages that have made the press. Prime Day for Amazon this year. It was estimated to have cost Amazon millions to tens of millions of dollars. So that's an expensive day. If you're a Black Friday or an e-commerce company, you can imagine what an outage on that day costs you in terms of revenue. Not to mention the impact to your brand, to customer trust. Slack, we're a remote by default company. We use Slack every day to coordinate and communicate. We've had a few rough encounters this year where we've been unable to use that, and our productivity's been hit as a result. We've had a couple of major airline outages. Delta and British Airways come to mind, both estimated to have cost hundreds of millions of dollars. But perhaps more importantly, they've had an impact to our lives, our ability to travel, our ability to do business, our ability to visit and see our loved ones. As we as a society become increasingly reliant on the internet for our finances, for our healthcare, for our travel and communications, it becomes increasingly more important that these systems work, and that these critical systems work almost all the time. And the key to that is being able to go and to prevent these outages, to test these failures. So how do we do this? We're not randomly breaking things. This isn't an ad hoc method. We're applying the scientific method. We're being very thoughtful about the experiments that we want to run. We have a hypothesis. We're going to validate that hypothesis. This gives us an opportunity to test and train, again, not just our systems, but our teams. There's a reason we run fire drills. And that's because when there's a high urgency event, we need to have practiced in advance. People need to keep a cool head and know what to do. And this applies in our systems the same as it does in our processes. So Gremlin's a company that has built tools and services to help people implement this new discipline of chaos engineering, something to be safe, secure, and simple. Our mission is to build a more resilient and reliable internet. Thank you.
Okay, great.